Hello guys, welcome to another video of this channel. So in this video I'll be talking about a certain issue that is online, that is actually going on between Ghana and South Africa, right? Not just Ghana but Nigeria also, right? Now I saw a video whereby Nigerians were kind of you know protesting in Nigeria against Shoprite. You always see different people, but different opinions on what is actually going on, and one of the I think the influencers that I was actually kind of watching, right? He said something, and personally, I thought that was wrong, and I wanted to address that issue. So he said that for those people that were actually protesting in Nigeria against Shoprite, um, he said that those businesses only belong to the South African billionaires and won't affect an average South African, right? Now that is actually wrong, right, in so many ways, and I'm going to explain why. Right. Uh, Before that, right, of course, I would like to kind of condemn whatever violence that is going on, in both countries, right, regardless of where, the protests are happening or things like that, right? Uh, because it does affect everybody, right? Because today we live in a very connected business world, right? Whatever happens somewhere always have that impact. So now on the issue of Nigeria, right? Now, how does the closure of businesses or South African businesses, right, outside South Africa affect an ordinary South African, right? As I've said, like for example, right, when I think let me start with the laws of demand and supply, right? When demand increases, right, businesses employ more resources. So which means they employ human resources, which include people. And when demand decreases, the opposite happens. So which means they will be retrenching people and getting rid of all the resources that they don't need, right? So here's the situation, right? When Shoprite opened, their premises in Nigeria and Ghana and other places, right? Nigeria, for example, I just use Nigeria as an example. Um, there was an increase, right, of demand, right, which means that Shoprite had like to supply more, right, which means opening about other premises in Nigeria. So Shoprite, for example, is a retailer, right? I just want to use Shoprite. And as a retailer, it does kind of bring together products from different manufacturers, like South African manufacturers, right? For example, Lucky Star, right? The tin fish, um, grapes from farmers, you know, and different other South African suppliers, right? Manufacturers, for example. So let me use this example, right? Let's say Shoprite, right? It bought maybe 10 million canned fish, like 10 fish, just to supply its local market, like in South Africa. When it opened premises in Nigeria, which means that it demanded more of that supply, right, from Lucky Star, which means probably maybe to require, like Nigeria is a big country, it require extra 10 million tin fish, right? So to meet with that demand, Lucky Star should have could have in fact employed more human resources, right? More people to actually help to increase production and actually meet the demand in Nigeria. Right? So this is how it works, right? And of course, Nigeria, maybe the shipping, probably they'll use the ships. Let's just assume if they were using trucks, right, to deliver those products to Nigeria, which means that truck companies, right, truck companies will recruit more drivers that will be taking those things to Nigeria because, of course, they won't be risking, the their supply chain around, right? They will have to continue with their local clients and also find a way to deliver to their international clients. Yeah. So, which means they have to employ drivers, right? So, as you can see, like people were employed when those enterprises when they opened there overseas. So if they close, which means they no longer need those workers to continue working or producing extra products that will be shipped to Nigeria, which means that people that were employed, they'll have to be retrenched. So that's how it works, regardless of how you feel about it. But that's just business, right? It's just business. So no, it doesn't only affect the billionaires, the investors, but it does affect the normal person. Yeah, fine. The billionaire might lose some, money, but the thing is that they already have it. But unlike somebody that is employed, that doesn't have anything, and that is the only source of income that they have, they will have to look for another job. That is, if the job is available, and we have to look at the the entire situation in South Africa. Like there's a lot of unemployment, right? So they have to join the queue of unemployed people. So regardless of how you feel about the situation, but yeah, it is a big deal, right? And it does affect everybody. It will affect the investor. It will affect also the employee, the people, general people. So yeah, that's another investor the job gone, investment gone. So it is a big issue. But for those that think that this does not affect ordinary people, oh yes, it does. And the funny part is that the leaders in Nigeria, they understand it. Those guys in Ghana, they understand it. It's just people that don't know how economics works. Those are the ones that said, "Oh, no, you can shut that store in Nigeria, in Ghana. It won't affect us here, but it does. It actually does." So, guys, I think that's my honest opinion on this one. Please just comment below on how you feel about this and whether I'm wrong or right. Just leave your comment below. And until then, see you on the next video.